So I'm here with John Anderson at the Union for Democratic Communications / Project Censor Joint Conference here in San Francisco. We're both radio nerds, so we're going to nerd it out about radio for a little bit. So John, tell me about your involvement in the LPFM movement. We talked about that briefly yesterday.
Okay, my first experience in radio was in my college radio station back when I was in high school. I had a friend who had friends at the college station, and he got a punk show Saturday nights, and we actually had a punk scene in my hometown, and so bands would play, and then at midnight we'd all go over to the radio station and they'd play live, and it was just really cool, and I really realized how interactive radio could be and how intimate it could be. And I went to school, and I decided to get a degree in communications with a specificity in broadcast journalism, and I started working in the commercial radio industry in 1993, and I graduated in 1996 when the Telecom Act happened, and I had no idea that it was coming down the pike. Now, after I finished college, I was also looking for other work because radio pays very badly. And I ended up signing up with a .com service called The Mining Company, and now they're called About.com. But their whole idea back in that day was, instead of having search engines find things for you and it's all inhuman and doesn't really work very well, they were going to hire what they called guides to basically develop websites on certain subjects, and you get paid like an independent contractor rate. So I basically did that to pay my car loan. And I was About.com's guide to pirate radio. And the way that I went for the site was, I looked at it as a beat. I was a journalist, this was my beat, so I was going to cover pirate radio, and I got very involved and got to know a lot of people in the micro radio movement, the unlicensed broadcasting movement, which came before LPFM, and in many ways provided like the direct action that led to the FCC considering LPFM. So I'd been covering this as a beat and going through it over and over and over and really engaging with the FCC documents and stuff, and at the same time, I was working in a broadcast industry that was actually working to attempt to marginalize the service. And at the radio network that I worked for, we were a member of the NAB, and I had access to the NAB's weekly membership fax that they sent, which had this little thing on it, like, if you want to visit the members only section of our website, here's the code. And so when the LPFM process started at the FCC, commercial and public broadcasters mobilized to attempt to kill it first, and if they couldn't, to marginalize it. And on my pirate radio website, what I did is I went into the NAB's members-only things, siphoned out all of the documents, and then published them online for everyone to see. And the closer we got to actually seeing LPFM become a reality, the more I realized that I could no longer morally and ethically work within an industry that was restricting what I thought was one of the coolest types of radio that had ever come down the pike. So in 2000, I quit my job as a radio journalist. I started a pirate radio station in Madison, Wisconsin, successfully ran it for close to 5 years with no FCC intervention. And once the FCC approved LPFM, I became really involved with people trying to set up stations. So I've been covering it as a news thing for a long time. I'm now a media policy scholar, so I covered it from there. And I was also an activist, helping to set up radio stations like LPFM's before they were actually licensed. And then when the licensing happened, I was in grad school down in Champaign, and we actually had a very active independent media center that ended up buying the large post office in downtown Urbana. And it was a really cool incubation space for lots of different type of activist-y and media type activities. They applied for and received a low-power FM radio station license in 2002, 3, something like that. Got the construction permit, and in 2005 we actually had a barn raising where the Prometheus Radio Project came out and spent the weekend and built the entire station. So I've been kind of involved in it as an observer, as a pundit, as an activist, as a construction person, but radio's in my blood, and community radio especially is in my blood.
So if we had to sum this in 30 seconds, punk rock ruined your life. just like me. That's why we hit it off, because I'm the same way.